Hare Krishna. So we thank all of you for your enthusiastic participation in the morning program and rendering wonderful enthusiastic services here in preaching. So we have been very ecstatic hearing about your wonderful preaching, and you just had Spurti Festival, and you are gearing up for Utkarsha Festival, and Raj Gopinath was telling me that so there'll be around 25 students in the Utkarsha Festival. That's very wonderful preaching all of you are doing. So, so we are very grateful for that. Please continue with the same fervor throughout your life. So that will be so wonderful. Oh, not required for them. Not required for them. It's okay. They all know me a lot.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Very fortunate that we have association of His Grace Kun Leela Prabhu.
Hare Bo! Hare Bo!
I'm just giving a small, brief introduction, very short, of 2 minutes. Kun Leela Prabhu is BTech from IIT Kharagpur in Computer Science engineering from 2005 to 2007. Joined PhD from University of Melbourne and IIT Kharagpur on the topic modular mind avoiding self-destructive trends. He's keep on teaching in MIT Boston, IIT Kharagpur, Kharagpur University, IIM Bangalore, BMC Bangalore, manages ISKCON Newton Outpost Center at New Aligore, Kolkata, research to glorify Srimad Bhagavatam and short introduction of Mataji. Mataji has done his MBBS from PGI Doctor and MS from JJ Medical College, Mumbai. Disciple of His Holiness Gopal Goswami Maharaj. Mataji is teaching in their moments at Kharagpur, IIT Kharagpur and MIT Boston.
So we are discussing from the 4th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. This is chapter 20, Lord Vishnu's appearance in the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Pithu. Text 18. For 2018. Sprishantam padayo premna Vriditam svena karmana Satakratum parishpajya Vidvesham visasarjaha Vishantam padayo premna Vriditam svena karmana Shatakratum parishvajya Vidvesham visasarjaha Svishantam padayo premna Vriditam svena karmana Shatakratum parishvajya Vidvesham visasarjaha Sarjaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Translation. As King Indra was standing by, he became ashamed of his own activities and fell down before King Prithu to touch his lotus feet. But Prithu Maharaj immediately embraced him in great ecstasy and gave up all envy against him for his having stolen the horse meant for the sacrifice. Purpose. There are many cases in which a person becomes an offender to the lotus feet of a Vaishnava and later becomes repentant. Here also we find that although the king of heaven, Maharaj Indra, was so powerful that he accompanied Lord Vishnu, he felt himself a great offender for stealing Prithu Maharaj's horse that was meant for sacrifice. An offender at the lotus feet of a Vaishnava is never excused by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are many instances illustrating this fact. Ambarish Maharaj was offended by Durvasa Muni, a great sage and mystic yogi. And Durvasa also had to. Indra decided to fall down at the lotus feet of King Prithu. But the king was so magnanimous, a Vaishnava, that he did not want Maharaj Indra to fall down at his feet. Instead, King Prithu immediately picked him up and embraced him, and both of them forgot all the past incidents. Both the king Indra and Maharaj Prithu were envious and angry at one another, or with each other. But since both of them were Vaishnavas, or servants of Lord Vishnu, it was their duty to adjust the cause of their envy. Shri Bol Raj Gopinath Prabhu ki jai. So when did you start? So was it a disturbed journey or you started in the morning? Early morning. Damn it. Prabhu is performing great austerities for all of you. And he was telling me he'll reach at 2 o'clock, chant his 16 rounds at the platform, and then come here. Probably he's done the same thing. So, so we are discussing for 2018. Both King Indra and Maharaj Prithu were envious and angry with each other. But since both of them were Vaishnavas, or servants of Lord Vishnu, it was their duty to adjust the cause of their envy. This is also a first class example of cooperative behavior between the Vaishnavas. In the present days, however, because people are not Vaishnavas, they fight perpetually among one another and are vanquished without finishing the mission of human life. There is a great need to propagate the Krishna consciousness movement in this world, so that even though people sometimes become angry and malicious towards one another because of their being Krishna conscious, such rivalry, competition, and envy can be adjusted without difficulty. This is a beautiful purport by Srila Prabhupada here. So those end the purport, and now the class will be given by Raj Gopinath. Oh, Hari Bol. Since you are here. No, introductions are happened a lot. No, not the great extent. Introduction, conclusion, everything done. No? Hmm? So I'm seeing since decades, Raj Gopinath Prabhu and Sri Ram Raghav Prabhu, they are such a nice, they are like a couple, and so wonderfully helping each other and cooperating with each other to bring out Vaikuntha atmosphere here. So previous to that also, Raj Gopinath Prabhu was so nicely cooperating Shyamurari Prabhu here. Shyamurari Prabhu was here for a couple of years, 6 or 8 years, I think. 6 to 8 years, I think he was here. 6 years. 2008 to 15, he was here, and Raj Gopinath Prabhu was with him, and they were such a terrific team, and so and so here we see. Uh, So they have been leading such a beautiful example of uh, of cooperating with each other. Because this is needed for the manifestation of a Vaikuntha atmosphere, which can attract everyone's hearts to the lotus feet of the Lord. So, so, so all of you should be very grateful to both of them for leading such an exemplary Vaishnava example, such an exemplary example for all of you. The section which we are reading is especially very instructive for all of us. Maharaj Prithu was on a mission to help humanity. Maharaj Prithu was on a mission to serve and please the Supreme Lord. We are not talking about materialists and their materialistic modalities. This is a scenario of service to the Supreme Lord. Where the mission to the Supreme, the pleasure of the Supreme Lord and the mission of the Supreme Lord reigns sovereignty over everything else. And what else is of any value other than the mission of the Supreme Lord? And now in this mission of the Supreme Lord, the question which comes is that, why such a disturbance? When Maharaj Prithu, he was on a mission to bring out basic welfare facilities for the citizens. And for that purpose, he was performing this Ashwamedh Yajna. And for this purpose, Maharaj Prithu performed many other glorious activities. He went to Bhumi Devi and he was begging to Bhumi Devi, please release the facilities, basic facilities. She said, I will not release because these are demoniac personalities. And Maharaj Prithu is standing with folded hands and he's saying, I take the responsibility of teaching them Krishna consciousness. To train them in Krishna consciousness, my responsibility. But you please release the resources. So Maharaj Prithu was so much absorbed in the welfare of the citizens, so much absorbed in taking care of the citizens, so much so that they can remain very steady and happy in Krishna consciousness. That's why he's performing the Ashwamedh Yajna, for creating that good fortune for the citizens. So when it is such a preaching mission, such a need of the hour, when it is such a glorious pleasure of the Supreme Lord, the question which comes is, why such a disturbance was not at all happened? That is the beautiful question which comes. So why such a disturbance at all? Maharaj Indra was hell-bent upon creating such a nuisance in this great yajna performance. Now we can say that was Indra's problem. But because he is tainted and painted with uh, the material desires, he's seeing material desires everywhere. Atmavan manyate jagat. That is his problem, his blind vision defect. What can be done? So that argument is very valid, because if the other person is blind, what can I do? So the other person is blind, that's his problem. Why should I take that problem on my head? It is his problem. He is blind. And this was the very philosophy which the Brahmanas had. Look, Indra is such a big problem, such a big nuisance, let's wash him off. Because he's creating problem in the yajna. So, and they were justified in what they were thinking. And it's not that Maharaj Prithu did not try. He tried a lot. So, not to pacify or settle up Maharaj Indra. So his own son, so many times he went chasing for Maharaj Indra. And then because of some cheating guys, he was spared every time. The Brahmanas saw that so many times it has been tried. But still Maharaj Indra is not listening. So on one hand we see that this is what is material world. That even if one is wanting to do good, still one stands to face opposition. It is not proper to say that, okay, Prabhu, why I am a devotee, that why problem is coming in my life? The Lord is depicting here in the pages of Bhagavatam that even if one is a devotee, still one will have to face problems. The first canto, Bhishma Dev is giving this clarion teaching to Maharaj Yudhishthira. When Bhishma Dev is telling these problems are coming because of the time factor. The material world, the time factor works in such a way that there are going to be problems and there are going to be suffering. Don't mind it. That is the only solution. So Bhishma Dev is telling suffering is inevitable in this world. Despite the power of warfare expertise, despite the power of impeccable character, despite the power of sky lofty devotional service, despite the power of personalities, despite the power of upholding dharma, and even the fact that the Supreme Personality of Godhead was personally present with the Pandavas, they still had to undergo suffering. This is a paraphrase of Prabhupada's purport. So problems and sufferings are inevitable. Now comes the twist. One may say, okay, Prabhu, that is still taken with a pinch of salt. One can still gulp it down. Because what else one can expect from a Vishay? What else one can expect from a demoniac personality? We can't expect something glorious. We can't expect a garland from a demoniac personality. That's natural. What else one can expect from a demon other than disturbance? So proper time the devotees were doing Sankirtan. At some places they were put behind the prison. They were not able to understand what is this. So they passed on their petition to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada said, don't mind. So Prabhupada said, you continue with your morning program and chanting wherever you are. How does it make a difference? Whether you are in the temple, you are in the jail. Continue. They continued their practice. 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 4 day, 5 day. The policeman released them. They said, Arey, these fellows very solid metal. So, demoniac people, they cannot expect anything much different. So, therefore, one may still be able to take it up. Okay, demoniac rule, we are going to face obstacles. And so, if one doesn't have to face any problems, then the only way not to face any problems is if you don't act. If you don't do anything, then no problem. Because not doing anything is the biggest problem. So what else can be a problem? so, if one is sleeping, as Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, if one is sleeping on the lap of which Maya, then what is the problem? I mean, then one will not face any problem because sleeping on the lap of which Maya is the biggest problem. So no other problem stands in front of it as a problem. The person is himself committing suicide. What else problem? So the person is himself committing suicide, then any small here and there health problem has no meaning. This is not a problem because the person is already installing the biggest problem. So therefore, doing something, there is going to be problem. And not doing something is the bigger problem. Then how to solve the problem? So you do something, there will be problem. And you don't do something, it's a bigger problem. So how to resolve the problem? That's the question. And the most intolerable problem is when problem happens from devotee side. That becomes the most intolerable problem. And that is why Bhagavatam is showing this as a case study. Because who is creating problem? It is not Khardushan who have come to create a problem. It is not Kumbhakarna who has come to create a problem. It is Maharaj Indra. He's not a demon. He's a devotee. We hear Maharaj Indra is performing sacrifice, Lord Vishnu is personally coming and taking. Here itself, Prabhupada is highlighting the fact that Maharaj Indra is personally accompanying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, Ritu Maharaj was praying. Ritu Maharaj's goal of 100 sacrifices was for the sake of invoking Lord Vishnu to come. Maharaj Indra traveling with Lord Vishnu is a common affair, it seems. Just like acquaintance is very close acquaintance. You see his connection. So even after Maharaj Indra has performed such a shabby activity, still he is with the Supreme Lord only. That means he's a devotee, no? Solid devotee. What a solid devotee. So he had a very strong relationship with Krishna and he committed such a strong, terrible mistake. Still he is having that relationship. That means how strong is that relationship? So Maharaj Indra, elevated personality. Not a normal personality. So we can see the fact. Is it not? So somebody has committed murder, still he is traveling with the policeman. You know? The Chief Justice sitting, along with that, the murderer is also sitting. Let us hear. They are taking tea. So same thing, situation is something similar here. And so, yeah, Maharaj Indra is performing the murder of the welfare of the citizens here, like that. But Maharaj Indra had gone to the extent of planning murder of Brajavasis also, gone to very high extents also, with the Supreme Lord. So we see the depth of the relationship. So now this becomes very intolerable. That I did not expect a devotee to behave like this. That kind of feeling one may have. Sometimes in the course of one's activities and services, one may receive such a setback from the Vaishnava that one may think, oh, the materialists are better. It's a circumstantial statement. No? It's a circumstantial statement. The devotees behaved to me like this. Even materialists will not behave like that. Sometimes a person may feel like that way. So, so we may say that, okay, I am doing service. So first of all, we see that when the Lord is telling that in the pursuit of Krishna consciousness, problems is going to come, the Lord is never qualifying that the problems is going to come only from whom the problem is going to come. The only emphasis which is mentioned is that problems are always going to come. But from where the problem will come, from devotee, non-devotee, that is not qualified. That is not specified. Which means what? Problems will come from everywhere. So rather, this material world is such a mysterious place that sometimes, many times, the person who is creating the problem himself or herself does not know that he is creating the problem. What type of problem is that? The person himself doesn't know that he is creating a problem. He is creating a problem. The person is thinking, no, I am very caring. But others are saying that itself is the problem, Prabhu. It happens many times in parenting. A parent, they are thinking they are caring. So they want to micromanage, nano manage, pico manage, femto manage, every femtosecond detail of their children. And the children are suffocating. They don't have any breath. They don't have any space. They are dying of that. One may say care is sweet, but they are dying of that sweetness. Right? We see this kind of a situation, is it not? So sometimes, so now what do we call this as? So now this is an obstacle. This is obsession. Who is obsessed? Yeah, so there can be an obsession when the person who is a recipient of the obsession or the obsessive care starts suffering and suffocating, and that becomes a problem because the person is not able to do anything. Like say for example, you have gone for follow up, and then every 10-15 minutes call is coming through. Where are you? How are you? Are you taking prasad? Why are you not taking prasad? Please take prasad. Shall I send prasad? So it will be too much, is it not? Means it's okay if we are out, somebody makes a plate, that is good enough. No? Is it not? No? But every half an hour, every moment to moment, is it not? It's 9 o'clock. We're not sleeping. Can I help you in any way? It's so that will be too much care. I don't know if you have experienced that. So so in this way, we can understand. In fact, is a very Radheshampur would always joke at many times in counseling. Uh, uh, in counseling, the recipient of the counseling always feels or experiences a problem. Now, suppose the counselor, so Radheshampur would say, okay, there are two types of counselors. One is a Baba counselor, one is a baby counselor. The example which you were giving was of a baby counselor. So he's a baby counselor every time, okay, you woke up today on time. Are you feeling tired? Is it okay? Can I bring hot water for you? Baby counselor, every round is coming, today what subject you are going to study, how many hours you are going to study, I'm just sitting next to you. We have any problem? So it's a baby counselor. The too much problem is there in this fellow, he has kept me bound. I have no freedom in my life. So one will feel very frustrated. Is it not? And then they'll be complain, okay, my counselor, too much caring, too much baby, like that, too much micromanage. Yeah, other kind of counselor is Baba counselor. So Baba means is Udasin what Baba, and so in the morning program, Prabhu, devotees are not coming for the morning program. Oh, he is not disturbed. No, no problem. Someday it will happen. So, Prabhu, today there is no prasad made, cook ran away. No? So, no problem. So many times you have taken prasad. One time you have taken the Baba counselor. So, like that. So complaint will come, baby side also, Baba side also. Now the question is, what should one be? If one is this, then people expect that. If one is that, then people expect this. If one is balanced, then also it's a problem. Why? Because balanced means sometimes baby, sometimes Baba. That is called as balance, debit, credit. But if one is baby, the counselor is expecting Baba. And one goes Baba, the counselor is expecting reverse. That is also a problem. Is it not? So what do we learn from this? What do we learn from this? Yes, okay. Uh, what else you learn from this?
The idea is also not all the time watering, all the time doing something with the plants. Time to time care, and then let the person grow. Then, depending upon the situation, sometimes we really need that daily counseling because we are so traumatized, and sometimes we really give that psychological space that they can make the choice of this person is what I look for.
Okay. Okay, what do we learn about the nature of problems?
Problems are not so
Inevitable thing. Yes. How much we try, problems are going to be there. Yes.
and when we make small problem, big problem, actually the problem is small.
Yes. Hmm? Extremities always have problems. Whether it is extremities at the dispensing side or extremities at the expectation side. So extremities at the expectation side will also lead to a long big problem. And I said here, a bigger problem is considering a small problem to a big problem. So in fact, the nature of this material world is that even a no problem appears to be a big problem. A no problem situation also is visible or seen as a problematic situation. And sometimes a living entity has become so tuned to problems that when there is no problem, the person is not able to take it up and tolerate it. एक तो problem ही नहीं आ रहा है. What is the problem? So that is why this whole game or this whole gamut of judgment of something to be a problem or no problem or big problem or small problem, this itself is a problem which has to be given up. So therefore we will see for a non-devotee, a materialist, everything is a problem. And for an advanced devotee, on the other hand, we will see nothing is a problem. Lord Nityananda is being attempted a murder attack. He is a victim of a murder attack, and Lord Nityananda is telling no problem. Srila Haridas Thakur is being whipped at 22 marketplaces, and Srila Haridas Thakur is saying no problem. There is no problem. Only problem is, oh Lord, please make them devotees. These people, they are not devotees, that is the only problem. There is no other problem. Srila Prahlad Maharaj had been the victim of hundreds of murder attempts. But he is feeling no problem. He is not even praying to the Supreme Lord for protection. Why is not praying? Because he is not perceiving it as a problem. On Messiah, people are after your life, don't you understand? And he's saying no problem. If Krishna wants me to be killed, why should I resist? Hare Krishna. I'm ready. So he is not praying to the Supreme Lord also, please protect me, please vanquish the demons, please deliver the pious. Not praying also. He's just chanting Hare Krishna. He's saying, let me go on with my duty. Like that. So therefore, we can see that devotional service or the path of bhakti, so bhakti is as deep as an ocean. And therefore, Radhanath Maharaj explained that it is not just sufficient to be right. In this pastime, the Brahmanas wanted to vanquish Maharaj Indra, they were right. But it is not just sufficient. They are not sufficient. It is not sufficient to be right. And Radhanath Maharaj explains that therefore, what is needed is one should be right beyond right. And that is a lesson which Brahmaji appeared to give to Prithu Maharaj. Prithu Maharaj's consent with the Brahmanas. Brahmanas were right. But Indra is creating so much nuisance for the welfare of the world. Let's offer him only in the sacrifice. They are about to give the Ahuti. Lord Brahma appeared. Brahmaji understood. Now, this is a very serious thing which is happening, and therefore Lord Brahma is himself appearing and requesting, my dear Prithu, please stop. Prithu Maharaj is asking, okay, what should I do? Lord Brahma is telling, I am not telling you to stop. I am not just telling you to stop killing Indra. I am telling you to stop the sacrifice. So that stop was not just stop the killing, but that the stop was stop the sacrifice itself. Now, this is too much. Maharaj Kritu could have very easily said, what is this? Is it not? The those who are nefarious are being favored, and I have to suffer, and because of this, now my citizens have to suffer. That welfare, my mission will suffer. That welfare, my mission will suffer. Prithu Maharaj could have said like that. Actually, that was his mission, to bring more welfare of the citizens. And if this 100 sacrifices stop, where is the question of welfare? Because the Falashruti was that the end of the Falashruti is because unless Lord Vishnu appears, which was supposed to happen on the successful completion of the 100 sacrifice, how the welfare of the citizens, the welfare of the world will happen? Namaji is telling very easily stop. That means forget about everything. Forget about everything. Now Maharaj said, how can I stop? So much of decades of preaching. Said, look at the results, look at the, so much, how can we stop? Maharaj is telling, no, stop. So this is a very beautiful, beautiful section wherein it's a very, very beautiful section wherein you can see just try to feel the intensity of the situation which is happening around here. So now what is the logic? Behind, we know Prithu Maharaj very readily agreed. So people hardly gather the strength to perform sacrifice. Now Prithu Maharaj was asked to sacrifice the sacrifice. That requires such a great exponential sacrifice. To sacrifice itself is very difficult. Very less people even dare to gather the courage to make a sacrifice. Now, making the sacrifice to sacrifice the sacrifice is exponential sacrifice. Prithu Maharaj agreed for that. He said, okay, no problem, so be it. Because my life is meant ultimately for sacrifice. If sacrifice pleases you, so be it. If sacrificing the sacrifice pleases you, so be it. And this is the reason when Lord Vishnu appeared. So here a little before, if we go in the chapter, the very logic is being explained. I mean, we can understand what has been happening in the thought processing, and the Lord Brahma wanting to explain, Prithu Maharaj is understanding on what's happening. So here it is explained. Let's go to text 3. So this text 3 is talking about beautifully. Suhida sadhavo loke naradeva narottama navidruhyanti bhutebhyo yarhinatma kalevaram. So here is saying, O king, one who is advanced in intelligence. This Brahmaji is speaking, I believe. I think this is Brahmaji speaking. Oh, this is Lord Vishnu speaking directly. Okay. Lord Vishnu speaking. Lord Vishnu is summing up. You know? This is Lord Vishnu speaking, not Lord Brahma speaking. We'll go to Brahma's speech also. So you can see what is happening. But this is Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu is actually revealing the right answer. So many times there is a quiz, no? People attempt, they not attempt. Some people get marks, some people don't get marks. They are very much, अरे सही क्या है बताओ अभी. Order the right answer. Then he says, okay, अभी answer release करेंगे. Then you match where you are. You can testify where you are and how should be the thinking. Lord Vishnu is releasing the answer. So sometimes just seeing the marks, people are not satisfied. They say, मेरे साथ injustice हो गया. The answer paper has to be released. देखो इतना करना भी इतने marks मिलते हैं. Full marks के लिए क्या करना चाहिए? The Lord Vishnu is saying, what he's saying? He's saying, O king, one who is advanced in intelligence and eager to perform welfare for others is considered the best among human beings. यही तो कर रहा था मैं, अटका दिया ना. अभी पार्ट है ना, एक आंसर की बहुत सारे पार्ट्स होते हैं. तो फर्स्ट पार्ट है ना 2 मार्क्स का ना. होता है ना 10 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चन में सबसे पहला वार्म अप होता है 2 मार्क्स का है ना, उसके बाद आता है 6 मार्क्स का सॉलिड है ना. इज इट दैट? सो ये तो 2 मार्क्स का है. नेक्स्ट 6-7 मार्क्स वाला जो मेजर बिग वन, where is that? What is that? And Lord Vishnu is telling, अरे आगे तो सुनो. फर्स्ट पार्ट के आंसर पे नारेबाजी नहीं करना है, आगे सुनो. Lord Vishnu is telling, an advanced human being is never malicious towards others. And then Lord Vishnu is saying, those with advanced intelligence are always conscious that this material body is different from the soul. So what Lord Vishnu is saying? An advanced human being, never malicious. Never malicious. तो इधर एक गड़बड़ हो रहा था. Maliciousness for a righteous cause or a wrong cause? The Lord Vishnu is telling maliciousness is the wrong answer. Marks to cut in. So Brahmanas were feeling malicious because of being blocked to pursue the right thing. So they were malicious for a right cause. They were irritated for a right cause. Now irritation is a little less intense, malice is a little more intense. Now this was very intense. And that is why later Prabhupada is speaking that actually both of them were feeling very angry and envious towards each other. Prithu Maharaj also. So Prithu Maharaj is angry and envious. Why is he envious? Because this person is creating nuisance. Outright nuisance. So the Brahmanas similar. Their mindset is similar. So Brahmanas also felt malicious. That is why they wanted to destroy him. Narayega Bas. Problem was Prithu Maharaj. I mean, Indra Maharaj was not playing Basuri. वो भैंस का बीन बजा रहे थे. It was still tolerable. Isn't that? So therefore, had to be destroyed. But Lord Vishnu is revealing, देखो, malice. The moment you touch malice, you are the wrong answer. उधर ही 0 हो जाता है marks. That's what Lord Vishnu is saying. An advanced human being, never malicious to others. And they say, okay, if your nursery class, KG class is fine. But now, passing nursery KG in Krishna consciousness, now one may not get Krishna Prem. Krishna Prem is available after in higher classes. Nursery KG, you will get nursery KG class. If you pass, you will get nursery KG lead to Artha, not to Krishna Prem. Is it not? नर्सरी केजी करना है, जॉब लग जाएगा 20 लाख का, उससे ज्यादा नहीं होगा. Is it not? No? नर्सरी केजी ऑफ भक्ति एक जॉब लग जाएगा 20 लाख का, कोई ना मिस झारखंड से शादी हो जाएगा, उससे ज्यादा कुछ नहीं होने वाला है ना. So that only, is it not? So This is advanced subject matters. Like that. The Lord is saying, see, the Lord is saying advanced human being, advanced intelligence, For those who are not advanced, Huh? Advanced intelligence, AI. तो स्पिरिचुअल एआई की एज में क्या होता है honestly that one is doing the service but one has to be conscious that this material body is different from the soul. अभी हम बोलेंगे ये तो समझ में नहीं आया भाई इधर तो सिटीजन्स के वेलफेयर की बात हो रही है बॉडी सोल कहां से आ गया बॉडी सोल तो डिवाइस का थर्ड फोर्थ सेशन है अभी तो बहुत भक्ति कर लिया इज इट नॉट कोई आपको बॉडी सोल सुना है बोलेंगे प्रभु जी क्या हो गया है ना पिछले 4 साल से तो मैं ही सुना रहा हूँ बाकी बच्चों को अभी इधर लॉर्ड विष्णु इज टेलिंग बॉडी सोल गुरु के पास जाना होगा तो इसीलिए केवल ट्रांसलेशन पे कंक्लूजन नहीं करना चाहिए परपट में जाना चाहिए नहीं तो लगेगा बात हो रही है एडवांस्ड एडवांस्ड की हो रही है बॉडी सोल का डिस्कशन हो रहा है ठीक है वी आर नॉट द बॉडी ऑफ द सोल ये तो पता है कि महाराज पितु को नहीं पता होगा तो इसलिए परपट में Prabhupada is firing from the first statement only. Prabhupada is saying, see, in daily life, we find that when a madman commits murder, he is excused even by a high court judge. The idea is that a living entity is always pure because he is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when he falls into the clutches of material energy, he becomes a victim. So the three modes of material nature, indeed whatever he does under the influence of three modes. So now, so this is 5:14. Na kartavyam na karmani lokasya sajati prabhu na karma phala samyogam svabhavastu pravartate. The embodied spirit, master of the city of this body, does not create activities, nor does he induce people to act, nor does he create the fruits of action. All this is enacted by the modes of material nature. So actually the living entity, the soul, does not do anything. बोलेंगे अरे सब गुड़ गोबर कर दिया और कंक्लूजन में बोल रहे doesn't do anything. कंक्लूजन तो महाराज इंद्रा पे अप्लाई हो रहा है ना सब अभी उसी पर्सपेक्टिव देखना है ना महाराज इंद्रा ने सब गुड़ गोबर कर दिया और हम बोल रहे हैं सोल डजंट डू एनीथिंग एवरीथिंग इज डन अंडर द इन्फ्लुएंस ऑफ three modes. When a man is diseased, the symptoms of the disease become a source of all kinds of pain. Those who are advanced in transcendental consciousness or Krishna consciousness are never envious neither of the soul nor of the activities of the soul under the influence of the material nature. Advanced transcendentalists are called Shuddhiya. Shuddhi means intelligence. Sudhi means highly advanced and Sudhi means devotee. One who is both devoted and highly advanced in intelligence does not take action against the soul or the body. If there is any discrepancy, he forgives. If there is any discrepancy, he forgives. It is said, so this is the fellowship, the conclusion of this advanced reasoning. It is said, forgiveness is a quality of those who are advancing in spiritual knowledge. So now can any of you explain what is Lord meaning when the Lord is saying body soul?